Now, last week, Minority Whip in the National Assembly and Suna East MP Junaid Mohammed, he seemed to have been disturbed by some unspecified things that my colleagues and I had to say on the program, and he went ahead to tweet as much. Now, I will not attempt to respond to that tweet because there have already been more than enough responses, 622 of them by 6 p.m. this evening, and I'm sure the number will grow. But it's the nature of the responses that caught my attention. Well, there are a number of people, whose comments simply reminded the MP of that basic right in the Constitution known as freedom of expression. A very large number of tweets revealed what is truly at the heart of our problem in this country. You see, we may pretend about it, we may hide behind slogans and campaign epithets, we may pontificate about our national credentials all we want. But the truth of the matter is that we really are a very intolerant society, and social media is all you need to know just how toxic our national conversations generally are. And before I proceed, let me just underline the fact that I completely believe in freedom of speech and expression. First, because it is a universal fundamental human right that even our constitution here in Kenya goes into great detail to protect. But secondly, because it is a right without which the work I do wouldn't exist. But I'm alarmed because we seem never to learn. We fight for and about politicians, sometimes verbally or digitally, other times physically. And yet the politicians are not truly fighting themselves. And I will illustrate that in a short while. But let me just begin by asking, when was the last time you saw a sober conversation about anything in this country? When was the last time anything was discussed on social media, on TV, or at a funeral without the usual name-calling and tribe-shaming? Are you not surprised that these days people find it novel or even odd when there is a sober conversation on radio or TV? Oh, that was such a sober conversation. And how many times have you heard a blanket condemnation slapped on your ethnic community just because of, someone who didn't like someone who said something about your community or something else? You see, civility does not cost anything. Your point is not diminished if you do not demean the other person and make them feel small. In any case, if you so believe in what you are saying or doing, why call the other person names? Mahatma Gandhi put it even more powerfully. He said, "Intolerance betrays want of faith in one's cause." End of quote. What he seemed to be saying, simply put, is that demeaning or denigrating the other person only shows that you do not believe your idea is powerful enough to stand on its own without the additional push through insults and discourtesy. But here is the sad part, that many times this intolerance is because we support or oppose this or that politician. But let me say something that you already know, that the politicians do not and will not fight for you. Just take the three top politicians in the country today: President Uhuru Kenyatta, his deputy William Ruto, and ODM leader Raila Odinga. In the run-up to the 2005 referendum, all three were on the same side, opposing the then proposed new constitution. By 2007, Uhuru Kenyatta was now on a different side, supporting President Mwai Kibaki, while Ruto was supporting Kibaki's rival in that election, Raila Odinga. By 2013, Ruto was Uhuru's running mate, and their opponent on the other side was Raila Odinga. But come March 2018, Raila and Uhuru shook hands, and suddenly Ruto was on the other side, politically speaking at least. Now we are in 2020 and have no way of knowing who will be where when 2022 comes. So if you insulted a Raila supporter in 2017 because you were backing Uhuru, and today you see them calling each other my brother, what are you thinking? Worse still, you may have burnt your neighbor's house in 2007 because Uhuru's candidate, Mwai Kibaki, was running against Ruto's candidate, Raila Odinga. What did you think when Raila and Kibaki shook hands, or when Ruto and Uhuru did the same a few years later? So my friends, let's keep it civil. Don't call me names, and please leave my ethnicity out of it. You never know when we will have to sit under the same tent. That is my angle for the week.